Hello everyone, this is your facilitator for SPL, Abdul Basit. Yeah, in the last class, we were in the middle of the specimen. We just started for attempting. We were in the middle of the specimen that we just started for attempting, right? And we completed the two parts. Right? We completed the two parts, 1 and 2. And the B part also, right? So A and B was done. If we could just take it, that the questions we just did, that's A, part 1 and part 2, and B, right? So now the C part. And for C part, what we have to do, under the strategy and resource allocation heading in the October board report, the possibility of DCS company supplying and supporting such technologies as cloud computing and big data analytics is referred to accompany the consultancy report. A presentation is needed about exploitation of such new technologies, right? About exploitation of such new technologies. Prepare information of 2 slides to be presented at DCS company board. So we need to make 2 slides, including bullet points and notes, highlighting key benefits and identifying the main opportunities by big data to DCS company and its customers and skill set communication. So it's a short requirement, but again, for attempting this, we need to have a knowledge of big data, right? For attempting this, we need to have a knowledge of big data. Let's have a discussion on big data. Here, we made examiner planner, and the planner in that I have written my pages, book numbers, and these are 42 and 43. My book pages number, and they are presented here, right? So page 42 and 43. So here they are. Big data analytics, right? So we have to go through this information. We have to go through this information, and then we'll be doing the drafting part of it. Yeah. So now big data, what it is, first we are going to go through the theory, right? So that I can teach you or tell you about my experiences with big data, right? So introduction. Traditionally, organizations collected data of transactional nature, right? Customer order, payments, transaction history. This data was stored, right? This is data storage that organization usually needs to store of its customers, right? And traditionally they have been doing this. So, however, now there's a significant data available relating to non-transactional data, right? There is some unstructured information. These information of customer orders, payments, transaction history were kind of a structured one, right? But currently in today's world, there have been some unstructured data such as browsing history data and social networks, YouTube and all that, right? So there is some unstructured data available. Now, big data refers to extremely large collection of data. Big data refers to extremely large collection of data that may be analyzed to reveal trends and patterns. That the information that you have got of your customer, that will help you to reveal the trends and patterns of your customer, right? Especially relating to customer habits and behavior. You can predict the customer's habits and behavior. You could predict the customer's habits and behavior. Now see, the data size is so big, it's so big that it is measured in petabytes, right? It's not mega, giga, kilobytes, it's petabytes, right? For example, imagine the amount of data held by Google, Amazon, and Facebook. You can just imagine the data they have been having of us, right? You can just imagine the size of the data. This organization is so large that it would require 10-20 million of PCs to store that data. Now, what do Google do? What do Amazon, Facebook do to store that much million trillion petabytes data? What they do? What they do? Therefore, the big data comes here. Therefore, the big data comes here. Big data is becoming an important part of organization, right? Because through these huge data, you have been able to extract valuable information about customers, right? You have been able to extract valuable information about customers based on which important strategic decisions can be made, based on which important strategic decisions can be made, and hence big data is now an important tool for strategic planning. Because of that data, you can predict when your customer and what your customer wants, and then you can make the product at the right time through the use of big data to get your product sold, right? So it's now important tool for strategic planning. Organizations are now investing a lot in big data. Organizations are now investing a lot in big data. Now see, it has some characteristics also, right? It has some characteristics also. The big data has some characteristics also. What's that? What's that? It's volume, it's variety, it's velocity, right? It's volume, variety, and velocity. The data has 3 V's. The big data has 3 V's, which you need to understand. It has 3 V's. And what are the 3 V's here? It's the volume. The data size has to be really big, right? Volume. You need to get more data to reveal or to predict exact timing of the customer that he could buy your product, right? You need huge data. The bigger the data, the better the analysis and findings, the trend and the patterns. The bigger the data there is, the better the analysis there's going to be, and finding of trends and patterns is going to be bigger and better. Then there should be variety. There should be variety of data, right? Multiple types of data. There should be variety of data. There should be multiple types of data being created, right? Right. Browsing activities. You should be knowing your customers' browsing activities, your customers' buying habits and interest, financial transactions, right? Geographical information, social and business context, reaction to the advertisements, and comments and discussion, right? Through this, you could now know, through this, you could know the product, what customer wants, right? The product, what customer wants. You could know the product, what customer wants, right? Through this. So you have to make sure of it, right? And the velocity. Velocity means to be on correct time. Velocity means to be on correct time, right? So velocity means speed. Information needs to be obtained, analyzed, actioned upon, processed quickly, right? As information is changing every hour. So if the data you are getting is of a previous year, that's no work. You should be having the immediate data of immediate action so that you could make your product immediately available to the customer. Because daily, I guess I say hourly, the customer habits and needs are going to be changed, right? So timing is important. Timing is important, as there's no point in sending market information to a customer after he has made a purchase. If I want a laptop, and if I bought a laptop and then an advertisement came, and what could I do? I bought that, right? So that means you have to send the information at the spot when the customer required that product. So velocity is also important, right? So big data has 3 B's of it. Now, I would share the personal experience of mine of big data. It's that much simple. I'll give you the 2 examples, right, of mine. I'll give you the 2 examples of mine. One is of a food court that I ordered something on in Dubai while I was in Dubai. And one is of insurance company, right? One is of insurance company. Now that 2 examples perfectly fit on big data. I was in Dubai in past couple of months, right? And I just ordered a burger in one of its very famous restaurant. So I just ordered a burger there, right? And I asked them to put some extra sauces and lesser veggies and a double patty burger. So I just ordered it, right? With my phone and being in that hotel. So I ordered that and I got the food and I enjoyed my meal, right? Now, after, I guess, a week, I just had a craving for that burger, but for the same burger or the same restaurant, and I'm kind of that kind of person that wants same things, right? So I just ordered and I just named the burger, right? I just named the burger. So what did the operator say it to me? That would you be like to having the same sauces which you had ordered in the previous meal last week ago? Now, at that moment, I just went totally blank, right? At that moment, I just went totally blank that how the hell exactly did they know that what sauces I used the last months? And similarly, they predicted the extra ketchup, less wages, and the cold drink that I usually have the Pepsi. So the same cold drink, they asked me to have the same cold drink with some extra ice and all that. So they just repeated the last week's order, which I just ordered it. So now, how did they just manage it? I was really completely shocked that my parents do not remember the exact food which I just ate last night, and I have a craving for that food. So how the hell this restaurant is been remembering these things? That's because of big data. The number was saved, the name was saved. In fact, the operator was different, but the computer was giving at the same velocity the order was placing at that time, and I got a fan of them that they exactly remember my preferences and they know what I want to eat and they just want my heart. Now that's exact a restaurants or any kind of an entity is doing. And see the impression on customer it makes. The customer thinks he has been prioritized by its provider, but that's not the case. It's just the computer that's giving the information. Similar case is going to be the insurance company. And that's that I went for my car insurance. I went for my car insurance to 2 companies, right? Let's give a name to A and B. I won't take the names, right? I had an information from both of the sectors. I collected information from both of the sectors. So I decided to go for this company, right? Now, once I booked my insurance with the B, I left it out. With this B company, I just left it out. Now, what they did? Now, the B company, which I just left it out, what they did, they asked few things, right? They asked few things here. That's after a month, they called me. That's have you booked your insurance? So I told them, yeah, I booked my insurance with this insurance provider. So apologies from my side to you. So they said, okay, sir, no problem, right? Okay, sir, no problem. And the call ends. Now, next year, I received a call. Now, next year, I received a call from this company that, sir, remember you bought insurance of your car from that company? I received a call from B that I bought an insurance from that company, and the B reminded me to pay premium, and B reminded me to pay premium to A on time. They say that, sir, last year you came to us, but you didn't bought the premium, didn't bought the insurance from us. So I just want to remind that you have bought the insurance from A and you should be paying your premium on time to not to avoid any sort of risk and not to get loss any sort of risk coverage. So I was really shocked that who the hell is B to remind me? Whom I'm given the preference to go for the insurance haven't reminded me at all. Then who the hell is B to remind me that, right? Now, again next year, the B called and they reminded me. Now here comes a question that whom I have given my money, my premium, whom I'm paying, they are not even sending me a message to pay the premium on time. But B, who I'm giving a nothing, has been given me regular reminders to not to avoid payments of premium, to not to lose any coverage that I've got. At that time, I realized that B is taking care more of mine, so I should be changing my insurance provider. And I did the same thing. Why? Because they gave me preference. Now, do you guys think that B exactly noted my date and the operator noted my date and decided that it's his aim to remind me every year? No. They just entered the details on the PC, and the big data reminds them to call this person. He have bought the information. He have bought the insurance from them. So let's just order him. Let's just give him an opportunity, right? Let's just give him an opportunity to pay on time. And that made me fan of B. And this is how customers are manipulated through big data. If you guys should know that, right? If you're taking any names in your mind or in your friends, colleagues, in a circle where you sit, and then you open up your mobile and Facebook, then those related things just come to you, right? Those related things just come to you. What's that? That's big data, guys. The data has been analyzed and presented you timely that you should go and buy the product, right? This is how big data works. Now we'll go back to the question and try to attempt what exactly they want to write. But just to let you know that what the big data exactly want is that, right? What the big data exactly want, it's that, right? Data analytics. And now the big data is done. Guys, those who are taking classes live can text me on Zoom chat box. Those who are taking recording can text me on WhatsApp for any queries, right? For any queries. Now, what's cloud computing? Right? Again, we would be covering this complete section once we are free from the specimens, but the important topics which are tested in exam shall be covered timely, right? We can have discussion on advantages. There are deeper insight to the data, better marketing and pricing strategies you guys can make through big data, improve customer services and relationships, increased competitiveness, right? It's increased competitiveness, development of bespoke products, right? New products. That means new products, right? Not off the shelf. It's the new products, right? New sources of revenue that you guys came to develop. Now, disadvantages, data security, yeah. Confidentiality is the major issue because you are storing amount of data, right? So confidentiality is the issue. Data storage and management issues, right? Hardware and software. Data storage and management issues, hardware and software. Costly. It gave you cost, right? It's cost to analyze the data. Not the 100% times the customer would buy your product, the data you have been processed of it. Not the 100% times, right? So it gives you a cost, legal issues. Now, if advantages and disadvantages are being tested, disadvantages are being tested, you need to analyze them with respect. To the scenario. You need to analyze them with respect to the scenario. You cannot exactly copy paste these lines. You have to analyze the scenario and go for it, right? Now, what's cloud computing? It's again an important terminology which you should be knowing. It's again an important terminology which you guys should be knowing, right? For cloud computing, it's again an important term. See, traditionally, now through big data, you knew that how much amount of data could get bigger, right? So big data, you guys knew that how much amount of data could be bigger, right? You guys just knew that. Now, what's cloud computing? What's cloud computing? Cloud computing is traditionally IT activities such as hardware, software, servers, databases, website hosting were done locally, right? What does mean locally? That means company used to own, that means company used to own physical servers and software stores data and manage entire IT themselves, right? Company used to own physical servers and software stores data and manage entire IT themselves, right? It was done, it was done previously. It was done previously, right? Now, cloud computing. Now, cloud computing is something different, something automated version of saving data. It's delivery of computing services over the internet. You can get your computing services, but now not physically or locally, it's on the internet. Companies offering these services are called cloud providers. Companies offering these services are called cloud providers. Charge based on usage. For example, you can store your data online on Google OneDrive, right? You can store your data there. So that's cloud computing. You do not need any physical asset, just a cloud account. When organizations opt for cloud computing, they eliminate capital expenditure of buying hardware. It's one of the major advantage of cloud computing. It's one of the major advantage of cloud computing, right? To eliminate capital expenditure of buying hardware and servers, eliminate maintaining on-site data centers, right? Eliminates the need of having a large IT department because they don't need to store physically anything. Because they don't need eliminate, they don't need to maintain, they don't need to maintain on-site data centers and eliminate the need of having a large IT department, and they need to eliminate the need of having large IT department. This leads to significant savings in cost, right? Again, it leads to significant savings in cost. Now, what could be the advantages of cloud computing? Flexibility, higher level of storage capacity. The Google Drive gives you 100 GB, 200 GB, 500 GB, in fact 1 TB if you want, in fact 1 DB, right? Higher level of storage capacity, high technical standards, right? Eliminate heavy investments and IT equipment. Significant savings in IT operation cost, right? Significant savings in IT operation cost. Small firms can benefit a lot, right? Small firms can benefit a lot as they cannot afford to invest in fixed IT infrastructure, guys, as they cannot afford to invest in fixed IT infrastructure, right? So there's some benefits with some cost. High reliance of internet connectivity, right? High reliance on cloud provider. You have to rely on them. The cloud services providers, you have to rely on them. There's no other option. You lose your direct control, right? You lose your direct control, and that's the problem. Now the data is controlled by the cloud provider. Data is held by cloud provider, right? You lose your direct control. Data is held by cloud provider. Cloud provider has access to all your data. Cloud provider has access to all your data. Regulatory requirements for privacy of data may not be complied with, right? Regulatory requirements of privacy of data may not be complied with. High risk of hacking, as cloud providers are main targets. Yeah, there's a high risk of hacking, right? Again, if you're going to use these advantages and disadvantages, analyze the scenario, right? Analyze the scenario and use these points. analyze the scenario, and then use these points, right? So cloud computing also done. Now, let's get back to the question. You got an idea of cloud computing and big data. Now let's get back to the question. What was exactly the question demanding? What was exactly the question demanding? Let's get back to it. Yeah, see. Prepare information for 2 presentation slides, including bullet points, key benefits, and main opportunities by big data, DCS company and its customers, and communication skills. In communication, usually format matters, right? In communication, usually format matters and the tone of answering matters, right? The tone of answering matters, right? Big data and cloud computing. Big data and cloud computing. Some of the students have asked that what could other points, if we want to write, what could be the other points if we want to write in the previous part can be done? What could the other points? So here the other points can be no AGMs, right? We discussed that also. No AGMs. That was the governance point. If you want to write, you can write, right? We could say poorly maintained. That's from the examiner answer. Poorly maintained audit committee. You don't have the accurate audit committee, accurate number of entities. There should be no EDs in audit committee. So there can be extra points if you guys want to make. You could think, right? And you could write, right? Now, the C part, big data, right? Now, the C part. Let's write. Make slides. First, you need slides, right? So slide 1. Slides are going to be given in the exam. You just need to fill it, right? So benefits of big data. Benefits of big data. What are the benefits, right? Sentiment analysis. You could write this. You could write cost reduction. Just we read, right? Cost reduction can be done through big data, right? You could say faster and better decision making. You could write that also, right? You could write predictive analysis. That means you can predict your customers' buying patterns. Now, one of the students just asked, so what if we write slide 1 and also the slide? Is there any problem? Come on, guys, this is a professional paper. So there's not going to be a problem of this kind that if we have written this slide 1 inside the slide or outside the slide, there's surely not going to be a problem of it, right? It's totally up to you. So these are the 4 points which we made here. Now, let's supporting notes, write supporting notes of this slide. What could be the supporting nodes, right? So you could talk about internet. Don't exactly just replicate the points you made in the bullets. You need to have some extra information, some generic conclusions, right? So here are the way you should do that. A DCS operates as DCS operates in a country with 75% of the population right, connected to the internet. You could start like this, right? Connected to the internet. And again, you do not have to mention each and every point separately. You could merge points, right? While in the nodes, you could merge points, right? So 75% of the population connected to the internet. Presumably purchasing significant portions of their requirements online. So the customers might be purchasing many things online as they are 75%, right? DCS can sell their product. DCS can sell their product, or you could say the data component product, the data component product to the users, right? To the users, right? It can do this by promoting their products on media platforms, right? Which can attract customers, which can attract customers, right? This can attract customers. Again, DCS could perform. See, I'm linking the data with DCS, right? You don't need to define advantages generically. Consider that DCS is going to implement this, right? We are presenting this to the board. If so, you implementing DCS, what's going to happen? So DCS could perform market analytics by the data it has collected, right? By the data it has collected. And can gain insights to their customers, right? And can gain insights to their customers' purchasing pattern through the data they have collected, right? Analyze market trends, analyze market trends, right? And permit them to make and permit them to make evidence-based market decisions. Evidence-based market decisions. Now see what I did. I just used some benefits and then I defined them in a different way. Market analysis, right? Data collection, purchasing patterns can be analyzed. That's basically the predictive analyst, right? You could make one para on cost reduction and all that, but usually in slides you need to write less. So therefore, focusing on more writing in slides doesn't sound well, right? Doesn't sound well. Now, slide 2. What's slide 2? Opportunities to DCS. Opportunities to DCS customers of big data analytics. Opportunities to customers, big data analytics. Now, what could be that? Unlocking significant value, right? Unlocking significant value, right? Developing next generation products, developing next generation products, right? Developing next generation products, right? What could be else? What could else we could write here, right? Narrower segmentation, more narrower, right? More narrower segmentation. We could write this, right? Ability to collect more and accurate data collection, right? So these are all the opportunities that DCS have. These are all the opportunities that DCS have, right? So again, we got the slide. Now the notes. Now, supporting notes. Now, what are the supporting notes here, right? What are the supporting notes here, right? See, so big data analytics makes information about DCS customers, makes information about DCS customers more transparent. Now, accurate means more transparent, right? Accurate means more transparent, right? And allows customer to make allows customer to get more and timely information, right? Allows customer cover or get more accurate and timely information without maintaining data storage sources, right? So customer can get their data, their required data, even without maintaining their data storage sources, right? Big data gave them this opportunity, right? Cloud computing. As they discuss cloud computing, in the question, we're going to be discussing cloud computing, right? Is an absolute replacement of data warehouses where data was stored, right? So the data, the big data could be stored in cloud computing using, could say, using cloud computing mechanism, right? Cloud computing mechanism, right? Similarly, DCS clients, they have clients, right? Can do much more sophisticated, much more sophisticated analysis, right? Much more sophisticated analysis of their customers, of their customers, and can alter their products and can alter their products more precisely, right? Which can add value for suppliers in eyes of customer, right? So this could add value for suppliers in eyes of customers. So again, we've made some points, tried to explain these points through these paragraphs, right? Through these paragraphs, right? And again, the last, that the opportunity, the other key opportunity is to allow DCS clients, right? Is to allow DCS clients to develop bespoke products, right? For their customers, for their customers based on their precise needs and consumer behavior. So this could help you in developing new products, right? This could help you in developing new products. So this is, we have got for the big data. This is the max we have got for the big data and for the 8 marks, I guess. And for the 8 marks, right? Till here, we attempted 31 and then 14 marks. So that's approximately 45 and then 8 marks here, right? So 45 plus around 8 is going to be 53. So till now, you have attempted 53 marks question of DCS, and it's already have taken around 2.5 classes, right? So let's take a short break, and then we'll continue with the next of the parts shortly, right? Take care.